Hello, my name is Brooke Fouts. I am founder and CEO of Comparent, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about Comparent and why it makes so much sense if you're looking to grow your inventory. So, got a little presentation here. It's called How Homeowners Shop Today is Not How They Shopped Yesterday, how you can leverage trust, transparency, and reduce friction for the homeowner in their path to choosing your management company. So let's get started. So first off, just a quick little experience about me. This is my fourth startup. I founded, been doing this for 25 years. Over probably about the last 17 years has been in the short-term rental industry. I kind of cut my teeth at a company called Vantage Resort Realty in Ocean City, Maryland. Um, Grew that company from 0 to 500 properties in 5 years. Learned a lot about inventory acquisition there in my tenure there. I also launched a company called Vintory 6 years ago, and I helped over 900 companies grow their inventory. So learned a ton about inventory acquisition. We were actually the category creator. We invented inventory acquisition, and we are by far the market leader in that category. I've written three books on short-term rentals. Two of those have been bestsellers on Amazon. Um, and I founded Comparent again. So Comparent is the world's largest directory of professional vacation rental managers. So we're going to talk a little about that today. So first off, I think it's really important to really truly understand there's a fundamental change that's happening today. Homeowners now are expecting transparency. They want to have all the information they can in advance of buying and in advance of like reaching out to a salesperson. They want to see reviews. This is a trend that we're seeing across the board in all verticals. They want access to all information in advance of buying. And then obviously less friction. They really want a simple and frictionless way that they can sign up or buy. And guess what? There's going to be some winners and there's going to be some losers. The winners, those are the companies that provide transparency, that allow you to really gather those reviews and highlight those, and then just offer a frictionless buying process, signing up process. The losers, guess what? They're going to be the old legacy companies that are out there that continue to play hide the ball and make it challenging to sign up. So um, I think it's important. There's this to understand. There's this evolution of the buyer's journey. First off, a buyer's journey is essentially what a sales funnel looks like from a prospect's perspective, but it consists of four stages, right? You have awareness, you have exploring solutions, you have comparing vendors, and you have a purchase or decision. Now, historically, people used to not have access to all the information. And this is what was called information asymmetry, where the seller, if you think about it, held all the information and the buyer had very little. So they had to reach out to a salesperson early on in that journey and to get that information. But guess what? Now it's just about all the world's information is on a device that fits in your pocket. So here is the modern buyer's journey. It's all the same steps. You'll notice, awareness, exploring solutions, comparing vendors and reviews, and purchase. They're all the same steps. However, the journey is much longer. And notice when people engage with that salesperson, it is much later in the sales process after they've done all their research. Now, think about the example of buying a car. So before the internet, you would drive to a dealership, you would test drive different models, you get the stats and information of the car, then you go to the next dealership and do the exact same thing, rinse and repeat. It was a miserable experience. You would take your entire weekend, if not more, and just completely wasted. But guess what? Then the internet came around, and all that information was online. The stats, the reviews, the videos, everything you needed to know. Now, according to HubSpot, 96% of prospects conduct their own research prior to speaking with a sales representative. Now, I know this firsthand. I actually purchased a new car for my wife not too long ago. I purchased her a Rivian SUV, and I did everything online. I never spoke with a salesperson. It was like buying a software app. Rivian's shopping experience was modeled after Tesla's. And speaking of which, did you know that Tesla's website is actually powered by Shopify? So it just tells you where we're coming. All right, so let's look at some examples. So the evolution of the buyer's journey. Consumers expect transparency and access to information. Here's some stats for you. 96% conduct their own research. 90% of online buyers value in-depth content. 67% of the buyer's journey is now digital. 95% of shoppers buy online because they easily can easily compare sites. So here's the thing. They're going to do this research. This is a key point. They're gonna do the research on you regardless. So you might as well make it really easy for them and guide them in the right direction. All right, so here's the first case study on transparency, access to information. And we're going to highlight VRBO. So I'm dating myself, but when I first got into business in 2007, management companies were still mailing out catalogs of our inventory. Yes, you heard that right. And you had to get every little bit of information of your property on a 1 by 1 inch square, the picture, the rates, the basic description. Then guess what? VRBO came around and started getting traction. And you had all this real estate to explain every bit of the details about your property. You had the photos, the description, the floor plans. It was an absolute game changer. Then I remember a couple years later, they actually started taking online bookings on their platform. I remember people literally saying, nobody will book these properties online. They want to speak with us. We have to have a relationship with us. They need the reservationists to coach them and guide them into which property to book. There's not enough information to make a decision. But guess what? Fast forward to today, and I've asked many of our partners, and it seems like 90% or more, as much as 99% of their reservations are online versus calling in. Think about that for a second. In a decade, we went from no way it'll happen to 90 to 90% of all reservations are online. And this only happened because the guests had access to all the information online in order to make that decision. They had those pictures, they had the description, they had the floor plan, and they had the reviews. So, speaking of reviews, consumers are really, 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 really now relying heavily on reviews. So, consumers, 84% trust reviews as much as friends. 93% of consumers read reviews before making a purchase. 80% of consumers are less likely to buy a product if it has no reviews, and that's actually 92% amongst Gen Z shoppers. And there was a 270% boost in conversion rates when customers' reviews are present. Here's the thing. People now expect reviews for every company. So you might as well encourage your owners to do it proactively at the right time when they're happy and give them an easy way of leave the review. Lead them, right? Lead them to the source where you want them to leave the review. Otherwise, only the dissatisfied owners are going to be out ones out there leaving reviews. And all your other prospective owners will eventually find those. There's a famous quote: in the absence of information, people fear the worst. All right, next case study, Airbnb and how they leverage reviews. So everyone knows that Airbnb started sharing rooms versus entire home rentals. There's actually a story about a very famous venture capitalist, Chris Sacca, who passed on investing on Airbnb because he said there is no freaking way people are actually going to pay money to stay in someone else's home with other people in it. In fact, he's famously known to say, people will get murdered and there will be blood on your hands. So, how did Airbnb get around this really strange concept? Guess what? By leveraging reviews.
It turns out a well-designed reputation system is key for building trust. And we didn't actually get it right the first time. It's hard for people to leave bad reviews. Eventually, we learned to wait until both guest and host left the review before we reveal them. Now, here's a discovery we made just last week. We did a joint study with Stanford where we looked at people's willingness to trust someone based on how similar they are in age, location, and geography. The research showed, not surprisingly, we prefer people who are like us. The more different somebody is, the less we trust them. Now, that's a natural social bias. But what's interesting is what happens when you add reputation into the mix, in this case with reviews. Now, if you've got less than 3 reviews, nothing changes. But if you've got more than 10, everything changes. High reputation beats high similarity. The right design can actually help us overcome one of our most deeply rooted biases.
Say that again. High reputation, in this case reviews, beats high similarity, helping us overcome one of our most deeply rooted biases. Think about that. If you can get someone to share a room with a stranger by leveraging reviews, imagine how impactful reviews would be for getting new homeowners into your rental program. All right. Consumers expect a frictionless buying experience or an Amazon-like experience. So here's some stats for you. 80% of customers consider buying experience as important as the products or services. That's according to Salesforce. There's a 16% price premium increase for a frictionless buying process. I can tell you that firsthand. I will go to Amazon every single time, even if I can probably find it somewhere cheaper, just because it's super easy. I can do it with a couple clicks. 40% increase in win rates with a great customer experience. So, all right, let's talk about Uber. Has anyone ever ordered a taxi? I'm not talking about like in major cities like New York or Chicago. I'm talking about when you had to call and order one. Well, guess what? I didn't think so. But guess what? I did in college. Again, I'm dating myself. You would call, it would ring and ring and ring. Eventually, they may pick up, and you'd get this very rude person who would abruptly ask your address. 30 minutes later, a cab would show up about 50% of the time. The process absolutely sucked. Then Uber came around. Uber completely eliminated friction in their ordering process. It was so easy to hail a ride. You just enter your address and order, your ride shows up, simple, frictionless. And guess what? Now they're a $158 billion company. All right, speaking of frictionless buying process, I alluded to this earlier. I think the best example is Amazon. Amazon has made buying things so easy. They've eliminated friction every step of the way. The company has an obsessive focus on removing every pain point from the customer journey. They even do those dash buttons, the one-click checkout, and Amazon Pay are all prime examples of seamless experiences. In just less than 2 decades, Amazon essentially redefined online shopping. Customers can now view products within seconds, check prices, and buy products with the click of a button. E-commerce market share of close to 40%. Who can argue with them? All right. So, with all that said, this is where Comparent can help. We made this very clear. So, how can we help? At Comparent, we empower vacation rental managers by providing the tools needed to attract and convert more homeowners into their rental programs. So, we can do that through transparency. We make it effortless to showcase your management services, ensuring homeowners have all the key information they need in one place. Guess what? We provide reviews. We seamlessly integrate reviews from guest platforms and make it simple to collect and display homeowner testimonials, which is so important. And we're really kind of narrowing down and getting this really simple and a frictionless experience. We eliminate barriers in the homeowner's decision-making process, making it easier for them than ever to contact you and to sign up in your rental management program. And also, guess what? We can generate some traffic. We drive highly targeted vacation rental homeowners directly to your listing efficiently and at scale. So how do we drive that traffic? First off, the largest database of vacation rental homeowners in the world. We are continuously engaging our database of verified vacation rental homeowners through direct email marketing and also some other ways as well. We also are running tons of paid search campaigns. We have some of the best digital marketing minds in the industry, and we invest tens of thousands of dollars in paid search ads, driving highly targeted traffic to your listing. And at a scale, an individual management companies, they just cannot match. And we're also really doing really well in organic search optimization. Thousands of homeowners find us through organic search, and Google and ChatGPT prioritize comparison sites like Comparent in search rankings. What's also nice is we're noticing if you even Google for your brand, we're finding in many cases Comparent being listed right underneath yours. Again, giving you a nice validation, giving you a nice, third-party validation. And then social media traffic. Our strategic paid and organic social media efforts are bringing thousands of engaged homeowners to Comparent every single month. So let's talk about some of the numbers. So again, I made it very clear. We are the largest directory of professional vacation rental managers in the world. Google loves sites like this. ChatGPT is really leveraging sites like this. These LLMs love directory sites, and we are by far the largest in the world. So let's talk about some numbers. Again, we have over 1 million vacation rental homeowners emails and addresses. We have over 7,000 companies currently listed on Comparent and over 900 verified listings, soon to be surpassing 1,000. We get over 6,500 monthly website visitors. These are mainly homeowners looking for managers. And many of the top marketing listings are seeing over 3,000 impressions and over 175 profile views every single month. So we drive traffic directly to your profile. Here's just an example. This is one of the search results for Gatlinburg. You see Mountain Laurel Chalets who have signed up a couple homes from Comparent. They've had 159 new homeowners views in the last 30 days. Avant Stay has had over 110 homeowner views in the last 30 days. And Unwind Luxury Vacations has had 97 homeowner views in the last 30 days. So assuming, maybe 20% of those actually end up, reaching out to you. And then if you have, maybe a 25 to 50% close rate, you can start doing the math on how many deals you'll end up generating from this. Here's just some testimonials. Stephen Kroback with Myrtle Beach Destinations. He's directly attributed 7 new management contracts thanks to Comparent. He actually uses it as a third-party validator. Whenever he talks to a prospective owner, he says, "Hey, look, don't take my word for it. Go to Comparent. You'll notice we're one of the most highly rated companies in our market." And he said that's a great way to help him close deals. All right, so I think it's really cool. I mean, many of you probably seen this before, but I think it's really important to understand just how valuable new inventory is in your rental program. So if you're like the average vacation rental management company, you have a property doing 50,000 in gross booking revenue. On average, 10% of that falls to the bottom line in net profits or EBITDA. And then the average property stays in a rental program for 10 years. So if you take 5,000 times 10 years, you get a lifetime value of $50,000 in net profits. So here's a quick little hack. Assuming you have industry averages of churn and net profit margins, whatever your gross booking revenue is, that is your net, that's your lifetime profits. So if you sign up a property doing $75,000 in gross booking revenue, you can pretty much assume it's going to have a $75,000 lifetime value. If you go out there and sign up a property doing 100,000 gross booking revenue from Comparent, you can assume it's going to make you $100,000 in lifetime profits. So here's the deal. Just one deal per year will pay for itself. That's all you need by a long shot. So if you consider, again, the lifetime value of a new homeowner in your rental program, the investment in Comparent quickly becomes a no-brainer. Again, one deal per year will pay for itself many, many times over. So in this example right here, let's just say you're on the bronze sponsorship, which if you do a $75 a month or $900 a year, and if you sign up one property doing $50,000 in gross booking revenue. Again, you can assume that's $50,000 in lifetime profits. So you spent $900 over the course of a year and you just generated $50,000. That is a 55 times your money. There is, if if Warren Buffett had kind of investments like that, he would be investing all his money in short-term rentals. So again, the ROI is just out of this world. There's not a better ROI on the planet than investing into getting new inventory for your rental management program. And here's the thing, unlike other marketing efforts, Compare delivers highly targeted, intent-driven homeowners directly to your profile and to your website. All right, so what we found, again, we've managed, Google spend for, hundreds and hundreds of vacation rental management companies. On average, the average company is spending between $500 and $750 per month on Google pay-per-click to attract new homeowners. So instead of just putting, that costly, inefficient ad auctions, just shift a part of that budget to Comparent. It doesn't have to be the whole thing, but take, 100, take 250, take $500 a month and put that towards Comparent, where the homeowners are already actively searching for a management company. It's going to be a much higher ROI for you here. So here's some of the different pricing. Again, you can pay monthly or you can pay yearly. We have programs that start as cheap as $75 a month. And some go all the way up to 1,000 if you do month to month, or 750 if you do an annual contract. But again, go to comparent.com/pricing and you'll get all the information and what's included in all the different packages. So here's the thing. It's time to upgrade your listing and start getting in front of more homeowners today. Don't wait. Position yourself as one of the top choices in your market. Again, no startup fees. You can do month to month and you can cancel anytime. Thank you.